What kind of soy sauce or miso should I buy when cooking Japanese food? What is the sachet you put into the miso soup? To answer all of your questions, today I'll introduce the staples I personally use by explaining how to use. Starting with a most frequently asked question, which is what is the things you are mixing into the rice? This is what I mix into my rice. A blend of various grains and beans. Mine contains barley, black rice, black soybeans, azuki beans, brown rice, quinoa, sesame seeds. It's more nutritious than plain white rice and adds a fun texture to it. Since my family eats rice daily, it's an easy way to boost nutrition. I simply soak in water overnight and cook it together with rice. I love the simplicity. I will link the products you can buy internationally in the video description. This video isn't sponsored or anything. I just personally wanted to share my personal recommendation, my favorite, to you. So if you see the package, then next time you go to the shopping, you might be able to find the same one in your local Asian supermarket. So I hope it's helpful for you. Next up, soy sauce. Soy sauce does more than add saltiness. It enhances the umami. I always keep several types because each brand has a unique flavor. My top choice is Yuasa soy sauce from Wakayama Prefecture, the birthplace of soy sauce in Japan. It's made with carefully selected ingredients and undergoes a long fermentation process, resulting in a deep, balanced flavor. Sadly, since it's hard to find outside of Japan, I recommend more accessible brands like Kikkoman or Mitsukan. Do you have those in your area? Let me know in the comment. One kind we rarely use in Japanese cooking is dark soy sauce. Next, miso paste. I don't stick to a specific brand, but I always check the ingredients. Authentic miso contains just rice koji, soybeans, salt, and sometimes barley. I usually keep the three types: red miso, white miso, and yellow miso. Red miso, rich and deep flavored. White miso, light and slightly sweet. Yellow miso is kind of like in between the white miso and red miso. A versatile, a versatile favorite in our household. Miso isn't just for soup. It's perfect for stir fries, dipping sauces, dressings, and even stews. My kids love it when I mix into my homemade tofu mayo, which helps them eat more veggies. To store miso, the best way to keep it longer is in a freezer. So for international options, I recommend this hikari miso. I found this one in Boston, so I believe many Asian supermarkets outside of Japan carry this one. Let me know in the comment section if you are familiar with this hikari miso. And I also put the Amazon link in the description box as well. Next, dashi. Dashi is the Japanese equivalent of soup stock. I generally keep three types on hand. The first type is the most natural and authentic one. It's made from kombu, bonito flakes, and dried shiitake mushrooms. These take the most time to prepare, but it's natural and as a result, very flavorful. I share how to make dashi in my e-cookbook, so please check that if you have one. Since it's unrealistic to make homemade dashi from scratch every time in a busy life, the second type I use most often is dashi packets. These works like tea bags. Simply steep them in hot water for a few minutes. The contents vary by brand, but they usually include kombu, shiitake mushrooms, dried vegetables, and fish powder. I try to buy the most natural options available. My favorite brand is Kayanoya, which I believe you can also purchase online in the US. The third type is granulated dashi. For Japanese dishes, I use Japanese-style granulated dashi. For Chinese dishes, I use chicken stock. And for Western dishes, I use bouillon cubes. Granulated dashi is the most convenient, but it often contains additives. So when using it, I try to incorporate plenty of vegetable to draw out natural flavors. Even though it's not the healthiest choice, still it's necessity for busy days. I often get comments asking, have you looked into the health effects of using non-stick pans or granulated dashi? Granulated dashi? I'm sorry, it's so hard to pronounce for me. I can't believe you use such things. That was the comment that I received. And I understand that people have a different perspective on this. Personally, I found that if I try to make everything perfectly clean, cooking becomes stressful, and stress doesn't help me keep cooking consistently. Cooking is like a marathon, like daily task. So rather than putting too many restrictions on it, my approach is to naturally incorporate healthy foods into my life and add variety to my meals. And this is the philosophy of my cooking. Next one is mirin. Mirin adds sweetness and depth to dishes, and it's commonly used to neutralize the smell of fish. Many Japanese dishes are balanced with both sweetness and softness, such as teriyaki sauce and tempura dipping sauce, which are great examples of this. Mirin is made from glutinous rice koji, and distilled alcohol. However, many commercial mirin products contain added sweeteners. I try to avoid using these types of products. However, the authentic mirin can be quite expensive, so it's worth considering how frequently you use mirin and how much budget you have when choosing the right one for your needs. I personally use this specific brand of mirin, though again, it might not be available outside of Japan. Feel free to share what kind of mirin available in your area so that many friends in this community can appreciate your recommendation. I store mirin in a place away from the direct sunlight, not in a fridge. So next, let's talk about the seaweed. Earlier, I talked about the kombu, and the kombu is one type of seaweed. But I personally keep 4 different kinds of dried seaweed in my pantries, and which is nori, wakame seaweed, hijiki seaweed, and kombu. So let's talk about that. Nori is quite familiar, right? As it's used to wrap sushi or make onigiri. But did you know it can also be delicious when added to pasta? I'll share the recipe link in the description box. Wakame is incredibly versatile. You can mix into the rice, toss it in salad, or simply add it to the soup. When using dried wakame seaweed, remember that it expands up to 10 times its original size once rehydrated, so be mindful of the amount you use. The least familiar seaweed might be this hijiki seaweed. I introduced a seaweed week meal plan in our membership featuring many recipes with seaweed, and many members tried hijiki for the first time then. Hijiki has a strong odor. Again, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce this, but if you soak it in water and then briefly boil it, then smell can be removed. Seaweed is rich in vitamins, minerals, and fibers supporting digestion and overall well-being. So I try to incorporate that at least maybe 3 times a week. Finally, let's talk about the sesame seeds. Sesame seeds are rich in healthy fats, protein, and antioxidants, supporting heart health, reducing inflammation, and providing essential minerals like calcium and magnesium. Sesame seeds can make almost anything more delicious when sprinkled on top. I always keep several types of hand, including white sesame seed, black sesame, sesame paste, ground sesame, and sesame oil. This kingoma is available in any local supermarket in Japan. My mom actually introduced me about 5 years ago, and I've been using this ever since because it has much richer flavor and aroma compared to the regular white sesame seeds. So I highly recommend this. I use sesame in various ways for sesame dressing, gomae, and I often add it to the soups. It's versatile ingredients I use daily. There are many other ingredients I'd love to share like tofu, chili peppers, and yuzu fermented products like shiokoji. In the Ikigai Cooking Club, you can watch video lectures covering all these ingredients, learn meal plans, ask me or other members questions directly, and participate in monthly cooking sessions. It's a club for those who want to cook Japanese food but aren't sure where to start. Please join us if you need more help and motivation to cook and stay healthier for next year. I noticed that I stumble with the word a lot in this video. I apologize in advance. There's some part you might not be able to understand what I said. If so, then please leave a comment. You can ask me any question. I try to answer all the comments in a week after the video is published. So thanks a lot for watching. Hope it was helpful. Bye bye. Mata ne.